3,285 people have come forward to say that they were victims of Sean Combs. By now you know he's referred to as Diddy in the media and all around town. Welcome to the Warriors. I want to remind everybody that we have to keep talking about this. And I'll tell you why we have to keep talking about this. The angle we have is to put the focus and support on the victims of this Diddy character. I like to call him Dirty Diddy. That is how I'll be referring to him from now on. Why I want to put the focus on the victims is because, I don't know, there's a lot of low-hanging fruit going around and nobody's really talking about them. But did you hear me? Did you hear me say 3,285 people have come forward, including 25 at the time minors, including a 9-year-old. I also read a story this evening about a 6-year-old who was at a party and witnessed many different things. I'm going to stop for a second. I'm going to ask you to subscribe. Subscribe to our channel. Please, we want to build community. After all, our hashtag at the Warriors is community creates change, and we firmly believe the only way to get the real work done is by all of us coming together, sharing information, sharing facts, and then spreading it out among everybody. And then hit that little bell so you will be subscribed. And if you join and become a Lynn's Warriors member, you will get your videos first, as long a couple of other things I'm working on as well for members only. But let's get back to Sean Combs. 3,285. It's an astounding number. Now, absolutely, right now there are 120 lawsuits, and those are vetted. It's going to take a lot of work and a lot of, we live in the AI, the deep fakes. He's got a new law team that are going to, as usual in these sexual abuse cases, sex trafficking, put the blame on victims. We see it over and over again. That will have to be proven. I am here to say there is the technology, though, that can determine if images, because remember all those tapes that were seized, and I did a show today with Nancy Grace, and there was a lawyer on who is representing a victim of his, and she actually has seen the stills of a video with a very well-known person with, according to her, homosexual activities going on. And we always heard about that, but I didn't witness it. I didn't have the proof, but for decades now, we heard about this. We heard about kids being brought to the Bad Boy Entertainment offices right here, New York City, where I am, for auditions. Auditions, I put in quotations. And the studio auditions. You know, everybody's going to become a star. We have to use this horrific, horrible, disgusting story as a turning point, a learning tool for ourselves and our children. Hollywood, music business, all of this conglomerate around influencers today, the celebrity culture, it is no good. It is complicit. And if you should find yourself, I keep asking, where did these kids all come from? Now, a lot of the stories, the people don't even know each other. The stories all mirror each other. The stories are all the same. So that tells me where there's smoke, there's fire, right? Because if they don't know each other and all of the details are remaining the same, something indeed happened. But parents were bringing their kids to Sean Combs, his office, Bad Boy Entertainment, because he said he could give them a record deal. He could put them in showbiz. And we have seen over and over again the results of the celebrity culture, interest, a desire to be famous, what it does. But again, if you're going to do anything like that, you stay with your child, a minor, and hold their hand, and you're in every room, in every office, in every audition. And frankly, the only person I ever witnessed in my career is when I produced the Broadway show. I was a producer on The Miracle Worker, starring Abigail Breslin. And do you remember her? There was a movie called Little Miss Sunshine, and this is going back to 2010. Her mom was with her in the dressing room, backstage, at every show, brought her to the theater, picked her up from the theater. That is the only time I have seen a child. They're usually, dumped somewhere, dumped on a set, dumped with a guardian, and so much abuse has occurred. It is the same thing for the music business. People have to wake up and realize this predation is right in front of us. I can't get over that this went on because we heard about it since the 90s. And so many adults reportedly, and it's going to break forward. So everybody buckle up because this is coming out with a lot of names you're going to recognize. I mean, we heard a lot of rumors over the years, didn't have the proof. So now it's coming out, right? We always heard about minors. We didn't have the proof. Now they're coming forward. Now they're being vetted. Now we're understanding this was all true. I can't get it out of my head that so many adults were witnessing this abuse and did nothing about it. Now, that being said, we're hearing that xylazine, which is a horse tranquilizer, an animal tranquilizer, it can knock out an elephant. Same story from people who don't know each other. They were served a drink. People are partying, music, not paying attention. Take a drink from somebody and didn't taste right, became woozy, woke up the next day, didn't know what happened, but with bodily injuries. This is a family show. I'll leave it at that. So we have that. We have to use this as this learning point right now that we will not allow this enough, and that no show business fame is worth it. Nobody's giving you anything for free. If they invite you to party with them, they'll fly you in from out of town. How many people are complicit with Sean Combs? Between bodyguards, he has a woman, Christina Coram. She was his chief of staff, his right hand. We're hearing nothing from her. Perhaps she's giving, information, testimony over. He did not pull this off alone. And people are trying to really break it down. And why did he do this? We at the Warriors don't care about that part of it. We care about the people abused, the victims. How many are there? If 3,285, and that was this morning, so who knows what it is by now. And remember, most people don't come forward and report any of this out of fear, out of embarrassment. They want to forget about it. Who knows if this has been going on for over 30 years, that we've been hearing about things for a long time. It's reported since 1991, these different parties. And so many people were rubbing, shoulders with Sean Combs and dancing, and naked girls swinging from ceilings, and nobody really ever came forward. Now, victims have said, which this is traditionally what they do say, they did try to, because we always say report 911, make a case, have a paper trail, go to hospital emergency rooms. A lot of them have said they did that. It didn't go anywhere. They do have hospital reports. I'm sure the lawyers right now, for them, the victims, are looking into all that to have their paper trail. Some are even reported to have gone to the FBI prior to this whole Sean Combs thing breaking forth with us, and the media and the public in the last few weeks. And they did try to do something, but they got nowhere. And that's a common thing. These assaults go nowhere, right? It's back to that victim blaming. And a lot of people were afraid. They were threatened. They're reporting that, don't open your mouth. We know where you live. We know you have a family. We'll ruin your career. You'll never work. What happens to all these traumatized people? Their minds, physically, their bodies, we're not going into the details, but abused physically by multiple people. And if that's a child, and then the videos, and we heard reports, I guarantee when videos are taken, not only are they shared in a circle, I'm sure somebody along the way, I'm sure of it, and we're going to hear about this, uploaded these videos, sold them to porn sites, making money from porn sites, and people are all over the place. And once an image is up, it is up forever. So I want all of us to have the focus on this, we must keep talking about it. We must keep saying no amount of fame is worth it. Look at this as the example how vulnerable people who really naively thought, I'm going to go party in New York City or Southampton or Miami or Beverly Hills. I'm going to wear pretty clothes. I'm going to meet people. Look at this. Total using, abuse, horror. And that people could stand by, let me remind you, and witness children being abused. What does that say about us as a society, right? And nobody came forward that we really know about. Why is it breaking forth now? I want to leave you with something. I think also age appropriate, you need to talk to your children about this because they are seeing and hearing things anyway with their phones and their laptops. So let you be the leader, let you be the educator. Don't overshare, but ask them, have they heard anything? Have they seen anything? Because now that we have stories of minors coming forward, this is only the tip of the iceberg. And let us explain there are bad people. Let us use it as, a tool for even perhaps parlaying it into digital safety and strangers, and just have your friends online with you, friends when you're gaming. If somebody approaches them online, what are the steps you take? You tell your parent or guardian right away. You do not converse with them. You do take a screenshot to have proof of something. You do report the number and block, right? You do not engage, right? Any images, those need to be saved. Don't delete them. Don't resend them. But I have to tell you, this case, to me, is bigger than any of the other cases we have seen recently. I'm going to leave it at that. It involves so much, from sex trafficking, labor trafficking, because remember, the definition of that is forcing people to do things to work for them against their will. So we have people that were forced into different sex acts. So that is a definition of labor trafficking. We also have talk of, we haven't even gotten there yet, of illicit drugs, right? We have private planes that cross state lines, fly people in and out. A lot's going on. So Dirty Diddy will not get away with this. So join me and let's turn this around. Let's keep the focus on victims, survivors of this. Their trauma is lifelong. It does not go away. After a couple of therapy sessions or they've come forward. Now remember, you might say, well, 3,285. Even if one of them, the story was true and all the others weren't, that's one too many. And remember, people will come forward when they feel like there might be justice. People will come forward because there's power in numbers. So don't flip it and be negative. They're after money, they're after this, because they're coming forward for justice. The survivors we work with who have lawsuits report to us, we know we're not going to get money out of the criminal perhaps, but the fact that we will win and get justice will be enough for us. So let us keep the focus on this. Let us share the facts and the truths. Let us think about, when we come together next, why so many people witness this firsthand. I only heard about it. I didn't witness it. I never attended any of these parties. And why nobody reported it, of note. And let's stay on top of it. But last is talk to your kids. Have the conversation. This is wrong. This is bad. It's okay to do that. It's funny because there are two things in America that we do not talk about. Death, appropriately, and sex. And I was thinking about that today when I was walking around New York. The kids are seeing everything anyway on their phones, right? On their devices, or their friends show them, or they're hearing things, or just look at the way our country is right now. Things are thrown. I walk through Times Square. Some of these billboards that are flashing now, to me, look pornographic. Ads for underwear. I guess I should say lingerie. I mean, they're very suggestive. Kids are seeing things. So be the leader in your own home. Do not shy away from this sex talk, age appropriate, because it is all around the kids, in the music, in the streaming shows, in the film, in our education system, medical. Go for it. Honor our hashtag here at The Warriors, Community Creates Change. Be the one to talk to your child, to talk to your family members, to talk to your neighbor. And remember, we're going to stay on top of this story. Do your research and homework also, because we like facts, not fears, right here in The Warriors. Each and every day. Follow Lynn at lynswarriors.org. If you have any, that is my email if you have any questions. But also always go to our website for breaking headlines and take actions, news and events. That is lynswarriors.org. And when you wake up each day, go out and be a warrior.